Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing.
It costs everything, baby.
How much you got in your bank account? Are you ready to pay it? Shouts to Unashamed Apparel, the one and only, the original, the originator.
Yeah.
Often duplicated. My. You have no idea. Visit shop Unacame. Wow. Look at me being carnal, and then I got caught.
Exactly. See?
Sorry, Lord. Okay. You say thank you, Lord. I'm saying sorry. Wow. Okay. Visit shopunashamed.com. Get your Unashamed Apparel. 10% discount. Use the code LDCAT. Today, you see the topic, y'all. Newlywed no-nos. You getting married this year. You getting married next year. You getting married real soon. These are some things that you don't need to do. I'm going to give you my top one. Juanita's going to give you her top one. I think I'm going to give one just for the husbands, for the fellas, and then we'll figure out the last one. How you feel about that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. These are some newlywed no-nos, and what they really are going to be are practical pieces of advice that's going to help you to thrive. For those that are new here, my name is Jordan. This is my lovely wife, Juanita. At the current time of this recording, we've been together in total for 11 years and married for nearly 7 of those 11 years. We got a little bit of skin in the game, okay? So yeah, I'll let you go first. Tell me, what is your biggest newlywed no-no?
Yeah, so I would say don't assume. And what I mean by that is just be clear about what you're expecting with your partner, specifically when it comes to the roles of your house. Like sometimes, when you get married, believe it or not, people are very traditional. So they're like, we want the women to do this. The man should be doing this. And I think to each his own. I think that you guys should do what's best for your household. And so if that looks like the woman cooking and cleaning and the husband providing, then great. If that looks like the husband cooking and cleaning and the woman is the one that works and things like that, great. But I think it's just important to establish that early on. And not even just like, hey, you have to be here, you have to be there, but like who's going to clean the bathroom? Like, when is, who's going to clean, who's going to wash the clothes? Like just establishing all of those like routines and structures will really just make kind of like your day-to-day easier. And I think it will really help to reduce like those little quarrels that you can have from like, now I need a clean shirt and I don't have anything. And I assume that you should have did it, but then you looking at me like those your clothes, you should have did it. So I think it's just important, and I think that it's important to talk about it because some people can be like, oh, I don't mind washing clothes, so like I wash all of them. But like here's an example, like for me personally, like I wash my own clothes. Not because I don't trust my husband, but like I like my clothes to be together and I like my husband's clothes to be together. I don't like for them to mix. That's just how my brain works because I don't want to be digging through clothes trying to figure out what's mine and what's his. But, like, he can wash them. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's important to know.
I'm about to say, I mostly wash our clothes.
Yeah, so, like, I think...
You try to do that, though. Don't do me like that, shorty. I do that. She was just saying we wash them separately, but
that's what I was trying to say.
I just want to make it clear. and again, to your point, right? To your point.
I wash the clothes.
No. I just want to give some real...
I do all the work, you don't do nothing.
Yo, there's this trend going around on TikTok, and it's a husband and wife, right? The last one that I saw, it was like the husband. It was like, my name is Jordan, and I cook all the food. The wife was like, my name is Juanita. It goes back, my name is Jordan, and I wash all the dishes.
And that, you know Juanita. What I see too? I see the opposite. It go, the wife go, my name is Juanita, and I do this, and then the husband go, my name is Jordan.
How would that go in here? How would that go in our house?
It would go half and half.
Equal,
yeah, I was about to say,
what's wrong with your eyebrows? Why you do that?
Nah, yo, because you look like you trying to comfort me a little bit.
You see that, yo? I wasn't trying to comfort for you.
Like, hold up.
I was honestly trying to say exactly what I'm about to say. We have some traditional stuff, like I take out the trash, but like we have a whole lot of non-traditional
like my husband
tendencies. Yeah.
He in is our house. The cook of the
house. So I said, I interjected to say, this is what works for us.
Yes.
This is what works for us, and it works well.
Yes.
This is our system. This is our system as a team, and so it is okay to establish whatever works for y'all.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Forget what grandmama said. Love her. Respect her. Forget what she said. Y'all are not married to grandma. Respect your mama. Y'all not married to grandma. Y'all not married to mama.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying.
Yeah. What was the original like first phrase that you said? That's what I couldn't remember.
don't assume is what I said.
Got
I
it.
said,
Yes.
and basically share your expectations,
That's
because
perfect.
early on in our marriage, we didn't do that.
Nope.
Like, we had expectations, but we didn't share that of each other.
Mhm.
So we kept falling short because you were expecting one thing, I'm expecting another thing, but yet we never clearly communicated. We just assumed, okay, we married, you supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do this, but we never said, does that work for us?
Yeah.
But I feel like now that we have some years in it, now we recognize, oh, we don't have to do it like that. What works for you? Like, that works better for you. You're okay with doing that. So, like, for me, cleaning the kitchen is easier. Like, I don't gotta work. Like, cooking stresses me out. Like, I don't like to do all that. But like, cleaning is easier. I don't feel stressed cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you enjoy cooking, so that's what you do, and then I don't mind cleaning up after you.
Yeah. So early on, be intentional about these things, because it'll help you to become one faster.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to test what works.
Yeah.
Meaning, like,
because what works in one season doesn't work in every season.
I want to also say that you guys are a team, right? And any new team that's being formed, or coming together for the first time, their very first practice or spring training, if you're a baseball person, or training camp if you're a football person, their first practice doesn't look like the practice during the middle of the season, right? You're still trying to figure stuff out, so give each other a whole lot of grace and just be willing to figure it out. Okay? Anything else to say on that?
No, yeah, and just like a slight addition to that, thinking about what you and your spouse needs in what season. And like, we've shared before, like, marriage is not 50-50, it's 100-100. And like, sometimes, like, I remember, like, very early postpartum, like, I can't walk, right? So like, my husband has to cook and clean because I can't do it, right? But that is just,
and let me say this too, and I'm not griping about it either.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at her like, I'm doing extra, right?
Right.
You should, you need hands laid on you.
Right. But then vice versa, like, if my husband is out of town, right? Like, he goes out of town sometimes for work. If he goes out of town, I'm at home with the boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm taking care of so like, it's a give and take. And like, while in one season you may have to do that, you never know when your spouse has to do that for you. So it's important to serve in a way that honors your spouse, and not in a way that's like, oh, I just have to do this because I have to do this. But more from the perspective of, I get to do this. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Here's my tip. When I don't know, have we shared this on the show, that Juanita and I did not do married people things before we got married? Did we say that on the show before?
I'm not sure. We abstained from still.
Yeah. So, when you get married, listen, take the time to explore and figure it out. Listen, indulge greatly. There was a pastor that told us, listen, we had just got married. He was like, he said it jokingly, but you'll understand. He was like, make sure y'all keep each other lifted. And he said, and I'm not talking about in prayer. Do you remember that?
Yes.
He said, make sure y'all keep each other lifted. And I'm not talking about in prayer. Listen, keep each other lifted. And I'm not talking about in prayer. All right? Now, in addition to that, because you are participating in married people exercise. Yeah. All right?
Yeah.
What comes along with that is the potential for procreation.
Yeah.
All right? You can make a baby. Babies are beautiful. Right? It can absolutely enhance, like, your family structure and all that type of stuff. But when you become a parent, you're never not going to be a parent anymore. So one of the pieces of counsel that we received from a spiritual father, he told us to try, this is how he said it, try to wait at least 1 year before you start having children. So that you can have at least 1 year where it's just you guys.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Now, this is assuming that you don't already have children, right?
Right.
And I'll speak to that in a moment. If you don't already have children, try to hold off for at least 1 year, because you are never not going to be parents ever again. It's going to significantly change the dynamic and the structure of your family. Everything. Okay? Now, biblically speaking, I was thinking about that while you were talking. In the Bible, okay, even to this day, every citizen of the nation of Israel has to serve in the Israeli army for at least 2 years. It was the same mostly back during biblical times. Most times the men served in the army for a short period of time. Okay? And one of the stipulations if you were in the army and there was a war, right? If you were afraid, they wouldn't let you go. Like, you could miss the war, right? But another one of the stipulations...
Scared as a baby.
Scared. Another one of the stipulations is if you had just built a house or had just gotten married, you were able to miss that particular war or like active service, I believe, for like a year's time. Why? Because you were newly married. And so this is a brand new coming together of a team, of a union, and everything that you've known for however many years prior to you being married is about to change. You are not just you anymore. It's not just how you were raised. It's not just what you think. It's not just your lens, not just your perspective. It's two of those becoming one. All of the past trauma, all the past triumph, all the past wins, all the past losses. Everything that happened to that person to form them to be who they are now is coming together with another person who has a whole entire history that's different than yours. So you need time. So try to hold off before you add anything drastic that's going to change your structure, the structure and the dynamic of your family like a child for at least 1 year. We waited for 3 years before we started having children, and we intently did that, okay? So that's one of the number one pieces of advice. And then practically speaking, right, when you are doing married people exercise, you are spiritually, biologically, and chemically and physically becoming one. And that's only going to enhance the quality of y'all's relationship. And so please prioritize becoming one. And I mean in a physical way. Married people exercise. Got to say it for the, YouTube algorithm so we don't get like flagged or nothing like that. But you get what I'm saying. You got anything you want to share to that?
No, I mean, I agree. That was something very big for us. I think that one of the things that something that was just big for me personally was that I wanted to be intentional about having kids. And this is not anything against anyone else, but I just wanted to be in the right mindset. Like, I wanted to be okay with sacrificing my body, be okay with the late nights, the early mornings, like all of those things. And so at that time when I first got married, that wasn't something that I was willing to do. It wasn't a sacrifice I wanted to make at that time. And so I chose not to start or begin to have children at that time because I just wasn't ready for it. And then I think that we just kind of got to a point where we're like, okay, we enjoyed ourselves and now we're ready for that next step. We're ready to expand our family, and me personally, I'm ready for this sacrifice. Like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And I think that was the game changer, because parenthood can be very difficult when you're not expecting to have a child. Excuse me. It's already very difficult in general. But then having to get over that personal hump within yourself of like, I wasn't ready for this. It's just really hard. So that's just something I would just say. Like, if you are in a position where you can wait and be able to decide when you're ready, I think that will help you.
Yeah. I also wanted to share, if you do already have children, I want you to strategically carve out time between y'all where you don't have a child around. Hire a babysitter, grandma, tag her in, okay? However you got to do it, strategically have time where there are no children around. Maybe it's a small child and you don't have the ability to do it for a long period of time, like a weekend or something like that. Maybe it's just an hour or two of undivided attention. Maybe the little baby don't even leave the house. Maybe grandma comes to the house.
Or it's nighttime.
Sure, okay, great. I didn't even think about it like that, right? Like, here's one of the things that we do in our marriage. We have a very, very, I don't want to say strict routine, but we have a routine with our children when it comes to nighttime and sleep. They go to bed at the same time every single day. Unless, of course, there's like a change in the schedule. But 95% of the time, everybody in our family knows. If they call at a certain time and the boys are up, they're going to be like, oh, it's late, ain't it? Because we do this every day. And we do this intentionally because we look at it like clocking out of work. We sleep train them. They know how to soothe themselves. They go right to sleep. They might talk for a little bit, but they're soothing. And this is our time, especially in the seasons where we don't have the ability to go and do and move and all that type of stuff. So if you already have children, make this something that you do with intention. Don't just haphazardly say, oh, well, we going... No. Set up the babysitter. instill the routine so that you know at 7:30 on Tuesday, you're not wondering if whether or not little Johnny's going to get in between you and your wife or you and your husband.
That's good. Yeah, so we can go to the next one. You had brought up that you had a newlywed no for the men, so I thought about one for the women.
Go ahead.
This one might be a little like
polarizing. Go ahead. Polarizing.
Help me, Lord.
Help me, Lord.
There's no such thing as happy wife, happy life.
Oh my Jesus! Whoa! I was not expecting that. Say it. I'm sorry. I might have just messed up your sound bite. Say it one more time, a little louder.
There's no such thing.
Hold the mic up.
There's no such thing as happy wife, happy life.
No, actually, say it one more time because I did kind of cut you off a little bit. Go ahead. I need a good clip.
Stop talking.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's no such thing as happy wife, happy life.
She told me stop talking, so I'm trying to be quiet.
Okay, let that sink in for a little bit. I am definitely team happy spouse, happy house. And here's why I say that. The woman is not always right.
Yeah.
We do not have the right to be able to speak to our husband any kind of way. To dictate how he's going to move around our house, what he's going to do, how he's going to do it. We do not have the right to bully him into sharing his emotions or his feelings in the way that we think he should do it. We do not have that right. And I know that society tells us that we do, but we do not. Yeah. Because if the tables were turned, we would not be happy, we would not be appreciative, we would not enjoy our relationship. And so I think it's important, when I go back to this idea of happy spouse, happy house, is that you guys are designed to serve one another. So it's not just that your husband wines and dines you and serves you and waits on you hand and foot, but there is a role that you play as well to be able to honor your husband. And here's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that there are going to be conversations that you are right in, or that you're always going to be wrong in something, or that doesn't mean that there's going to be something that your husband does and let me say it. There's going to be times where you might have a discussion with your husband and you are actually right. Right. There may be times where you have a situation with your husband and you have to tell him how to do something, right? Because he may not know how to do it. But what I'm saying is, you're not his mom, so you don't have to operate in that way. And again, I think that it's systemic, right? Yes. Especially as African American women, we have this burden, this unspoken burden. Maybe sometimes it is spoken, of having to be the strong Black woman leading and, got to be everything for everybody. But ultimately we end up being nothing for everyone, because we're too busy trying to do all of these things and control these situations. And that's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is literally to just do our part, whatever that part is that helps to move our marriage forward. Yeah. And so again, that's hard to hear. But at the end of the day, we need to hear it so that we can grow, so that we can learn, so that we can be better. And I'm telling you, you're thinking to yourself, Juanita, you have no idea, you don't know what you're talking about. My husband is good, he don't care. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, he does. He may be laid back and be like, yeah, whatever. But I'm telling you, if you ever went up to him and been like, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, I'm not always right, I'm telling you, you're going to see a different kind of man. I'm telling you. And it doesn't mean that I'm perfect and I always get it right or whatever like that. But I do my best to honor my husband. And it is it's a two-way street, I would say. I think that we do our best to make sure that both of us feel like the most important person in the world. That it's not a Jordan just showers Juanita or empowers Juanita, but that I feel like I do the same to you, hopefully. Do you want to speak to that, or
No, I should have let you go last. I didn't know you was going to hit it with straight uppercut, the haymaker like that. I don't really have anything else to add that's different than what Juanita said. It will transform your marriage when you humble yourself. And this is both sides, but just because we're talking about the wives right now, a lot of men, and this is actually what I'm going to talk about, will feel muzzled. And so they won't confront give me some grace, your attitude or your response or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just go with the notion of happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just pay the bills. They'll just come home.
Mm-hmm.
They'll smile for the kids, but deep on down inside.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so I totally agree with what Juanita said. I don't got
Mm-hmm.
nothing else to share to that. I can give mine unless you had something else that you want to share.
Yeah, the one other thing, because you brought it up, I forgot about that. Is definitely like our attitude, and it's like a 2-part to this. Like, it's not a happy wife, happy life, but also like women, we have to be better at checking ourselves and doing that self work. I think a lot of times we as women say like, this is just who I am. He needs to love me for who I am. Like, I have an attitude. He know I got an attitude, and he gonna wait until like, no, that's not cute. Like, it's not cute.
It's immature. It's immature.
Like, it's not cute, and like, yeah, your husband...
And it's not fair.
No, it's not fair.
Because your husband also has an attitude. He's just been living in a world where he was told or taught to express his feelings is gay or is soft or he acting like a little girl. So he's learned to suppress it. Quick numbers, quick statistics. Men lead the numbers for unaliving themselves and substance abuse. Because we've been taught to suppress. Hence the reason why we use so many substances or, take those drastic measures. And so I'm not trying to project anything, but like, don't be the number one contributor to the decline of your husband's mental health because he doesn't feel like he can express himself or confront you about how you're responding or your attitude.
You should be a safe space, and vice versa. But because I'm talking to him now, like you should be a safe space for your husband.
Yeah. Let me also say this too. Sorry, because I've been having an experience with this on TikTok. Just because we're addressing one group doesn't exclude or doesn't discredit the other. It does exclude them because we're addressing the one. But this goes for both parties. Please stay out the comments. Keep your thumbs calm. Okay. When we're talking about this, because one group can be addressed without it being a whole entire global commencement speech. All right. So this is y'all turn. Husbands, y'all are next. So relax. Okay. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Nope. That's it.
That's it? All right. Here's my number one piece of advice for newlywed husbands. You have to master the art of clear communication. Okay? And when I say clear communication, I don't mean that you have to have all the answers, but because you're now the head of the household, like in the courts of heaven, if you will, in the government of heaven, you are the manager. You're responsible for everything that goes on in your house, good, bad, or indifferent. And so you have to be clear about the vision for your house, right? And when things are going crazy, when things aren't going in the way that the vision or going in the direction of the vision that God is giving you or that you have to make it a point to get things back in order. In the same way that if there's a failing restaurant or a failing company and they bring in a new manager, there's going to be change, right? There's going to be a new system that's input. There's going to be a checking of inventory, a checking of the processes and procedures, right? And so as the husband, you're responsible for this. And it begins with communication. You cannot raise your voice at your wife. Calm down, bro. If you don't feel like you can communicate in a calm and respectful tone, then don't talk. This is what you say. Babe, I need a minute. I have to go calm down. Wives, please allow him the space to be able to gather himself so that he can communicate clearly. And that's one part. That's part number one. Part number two, especially as it pertains to like your quarrels. And let's say you are dealing with maybe your wife having what we would consider an opinion or an attitude, right? She has every right to feel how she feels. She can feel how she feels. Maybe how she expresses it, y'all can talk about that. But at the core of it, you need to see or do your best to understand, again, another aspect of communication, do your best to understand what she's trying to say. Now, if you have an issue with how she's saying it, you can address that. But again, how you address it genuinely matters. Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath. And so if you feel something bubbling up, anger bubbling up inside of you, that's not the right time to try and communicate. You got to learn how to be in control of your emotions so that you can respond or communicate in a clear way. Because what happens from this is your responsibility. You have to be, and this is not to say that all wives are like, always have like hot tempers or whatnot, right? But if there is a challenge between you two with, you know, maybe how your wife responds to you, okay, or you're not used to her response, or obviously you're newlyweds, y'all are getting to know each other, you have to be the one who's the thermostat and control the temperature, okay? You have to work to that point to where, and again, it's not solely your responsibility. I'm not saying that your wife gets a pass to do whatever. Please don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm saying that you have to lead the way in that because you're now the head of the household. You're responsible. So don't expect for your wife to be able to communicate clearly and calmly and respectfully if you yourself aren't doing so. Here's what it looks like. You're angry, you're raising your voice, you're yelling, all that stuff. But here's how it also looks. It also looks like, okay, whatever you want. It also looks like shutting down and not responding or just giving her a pass and giving her whatever she wants, knowing deep down inside that this is leading us on a path to destruction. And so you have to learn how to confront maybe your wife's attitude or her response or perhaps how she may view a certain situation that's contrary to you. Now, being the head of the household, you're not a dictator. You are not the king, so to speak. It's not whatever you say goes. What it means is that whatever happens, you're responsible for. And so it's be to your best interest to make sure that you both are on the same page about everything that y'all do, especially as it pertains to the vision that God is giving you or whatever you guys are set to accomplish. Master the art of communication, and this requires you to master your emotions so that you're not reacting, but you're responding clearly, you're responding concisely, you're responding so that y'all can both always be on the same page. Does that make sense? Was there any, how do you feel about that?
No, I agree.
You agree with it?
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd add?
No, I think you hit it.
That was good?
Yeah.
All right, well, we done.
Yeah. That's all we got for you guys.
Man, we sincerely appreciate you guys rocking out with us. If you'd like to donate to LoveDoesCostAthing to help us make more content and, you know, serve more couples or individuals that are seeking stronger relationships, you can donate to our Cash App. It's in the description below. If you have questions, there's a link below. You got to copy and paste it, put it in your URL, and we will answer that question live on the show.
Yep. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, man. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing. We'll catch you on the next one.